Hi, this is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers, the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, and the Junk Journal and Papercrafts Facebook group. Now, there's also a Ko-fi shop, and that's Sweet Pea Papers as well. All the links to all of this are going to be below, along with information about the special days and all that in the Facebook groups. Now, this is going to be my monthly LineDotArrow design team project. It's also the challenge for the month, and that's going to be the hashtag texture your art challenge. And every week there's going to be a challenge added to the 5 groups that are participating, and we'll talk about that in a second. And if you read the event, then you'll have all the information that you need for that week. And the weeks before, week 2, you'll have week 2 and week 1. You got me. Okay, so there's 5 kits. There's Autumn Kaleidoscope. Now, I've already recorded this once, and my computer crashed 30 minutes in. I thought I had fixed it. I went nuclear on it and restored Windows. But I guess I'm going to have to go super nuclear on it and go back to factory settings. Anyway, Autumn Kaleidoscope, vintage background collage pages, textured paper bundle, Autumn ephemera kit, and little Halloweenies. Now, you can get the links to all of these at the Linktree link below. That's group challenges. So it's going to be linktr.ee/group challenges. All one word. Okay? So that'll also be the link to all the groups that are participating. And yeah, and to all the kits. Now, there's going to be another Linktree link below that's very important, and that's to the other design team members. So you want to watch their videos as well. And this is the 3rd week, pretty much. So you've probably got all this down by now, but I just wanted to make sure to cover, touch on it in this first video, and then we will move right along. If you're going to post in the groups, which you should, because that gets you in the drawing. Each post gets you in the drawing, not each picture, but each post. And if you use the freebies, which if you watch the weekly video by Natalie on her YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/line.arrow/@line.arrow, links to be below. Then she will go over the freebie each week, the challenge each week, and then you can get an idea of what you could do if you want to do the challenge, or you can do whatever project you want. Just when you post your pics, make sure to use the hashtag texture your art, and then also tell me in your post, in my groups at least, my 3 groups, if you post with the freebies, you get 1 entry. If you use the freebies with the kit, you get 2 entries into the drawing. And if you use just the kits, you get 2 entries into the drawing, and that's for each post. Now, if you don't put in your post whether you used freebies and kits, freebies only, kits only, then I'm going to assume you used just the freebies, even if I recognize other pages in there, because I cannot. There's so many kits and so many pages and papers and envelopes and tags and etc. that I can't keep track of them all. So I want you to keep track of what you're using for me. Okay? All right, so the drawing's going to be the 1st week of November, thereabouts. That's all we're doing for that. And a paper clip on that. So we already had been moving right along in the first video when my computer crashed, or Debut crashed, which is the software I use, or something crashed, and the video got deleted automatically. What we had done is we had pretty much decided what we were going to do. So these are legal sized manila folders, and you're going to fold them in half with the tab at the top. Okay, both of them. This one, the tab's going to be at the back. This one, it'll work out that the tab is at the front. Sorry about my ring. So then we went through and decided what features we wanted. So when you fold this in half, this first part will be a pocket, either a top loading pocket or a side loading pocket, and I decided to make it a top loading pocket. Then we opened this up to make an extra page. I opened it up all the way, and I cut from the edge to the center fold, the fold that we just made. All right, I'm gonna close it back up. All right, so that's our extra page. On the next page, we scored in at 1/2 inch. Then we went up 4 inches and we cut in to our score line where these two glue together. We're going to, and the gussets on the back. Or the gussets at the bottom, I'm sorry. We're going to glue this folder to this folder just using this 1/2 inch gusset and around the pocket. That's going to give us a big pocket, and the papering is going to be page 7, and then we're going to have a big flap. See, the numbers are wrong. This is going to be, whoopsie, this is going to be page 6. Goodness, 7, 8, and they're going to be glued together. Alright, I just erased the page numbers. Excuse me. I'm not feeling very well this morning. This one, we're going to open our folder all the way. We're going to cut from the top down to the fold. Then you're going to go over a little bit. I went over the width of my scissors and cut down. Then took the little piece of paper that's left, that was in the center, the folder paper, and you fold it straight up, and then you just snip it off. I'm sorry that you didn't get to see all this. Yeah. And then that gives us a flip down and a top pocket on this side. I'll go back through and renumber. And then we've got our back page. That keeps these two from rubbing together and, you know, bunching up. So if we're at page 8, then this is going to be 9. This will be 10. This will be 11, 12, and the back will be 13. All right, so let me show it to you again. We have the front. Then you open it, and there's a top loading pocket. Cut the bottom fold to make an extra page. We scored this back page not the double page, just the very back page that we created, a 1/2 inch in or out, depending, and then 4 inches up, and then we cut it in to the new gusset line that we made. We're going to glue this together so that this is a pocket. Then we're going to open this one, and we're going to make a top loading pocket here by gluing along here. Then we're going to make a flip down, a great big one, because this is legal sized. And then the back page. Okay? Okay. So now we're using black soot. And I was only going to ink the edges, but then I realized that leaves the tabs just blank, and that won't do because we're texturing our art. So I thought to add another texture that I would stencil the tabs. And you're going to want to look at the area. This goes back. Keep track of where you've made this gusset, that it stays back like that, that you're not looking at it like this. The gusset's not on the front, the gusset is on the back. Okay? Excuse me. So you're going to ink everything, but you see these tabbed areas here that's above this area. That's all going to need to be stenciled. Or just inked around the edges, whatever you decide to do. You could put fabric on there if you wanted. I've got some fabric scraps, but I don't really know how to use them, and I'm not really sure what to do. So we'll see. And it's a folio, so it's kind of hard to use thickness. We'll use it on the cover for sure. Okay, so you're going to want to stencil all the way around where you're going to see above the parts we glued together, or I just gave myself a really good paper cut. But you don't need to stencil the edges because we're going to go just 1/8 of an inch. So just inking it along there will be fine. I'm trying not to get blood on the manila folder. Okay, so I'm going to take a break, and we're going to ink everything and stencil what we need to stencil. I'm going to put a band-aid on my finger. Jeez. And then we'll be back. Okay, and you'll be easier to see the edges too once everything is done. All right, I haven't decided on the stencil yet. I have about 150 of them from Temu, which is way too many. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to pick one of those, and then I'll be back. Okay, thanks. Okay, we're back. So this is what I decided to do for the added texture of the stenciling. Of course, as soon as I start talking. I haven't talked overnight. I've been having a sinus thing going on. So I've done that, and I've inked the edges. I've done all of them, regardless of whether we're folding it up or not. Okay, so I've inked both of these. We probably could have made a little notch here to separate them a little bit, but since this one's being glued down as a pocket, I don't think this one is going to matter. We've got this one, same thing. know, we could make that. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? To make it a double flip down. Here, and I used paper and everything. But we're going to glue this. You know, we should glue this one and make the pocket, because you can see it with the tab. And leave this one as the flip down. It's so big. Look at all that space to cover with something. This ended up being a lot bigger per page than I thought it was going to be, because it was legal sized. And then we've got the back. So let's remember, we can't glue the pocket down. Keep saying it over and over again. We can't glue the pocket down until we paper this. So all we can do right now is glue this to the edge of that, and that will be enough to hold it together. See, it says don't glue yet, don't glue yet, don't glue. Don't make me laugh. And what's so bad is I make myself laugh all the time, because I'm just a goofball. It may not sound like it right now. You know, my voice was fine for the first 3 words. Okay, now there's a little bit over there, and a little bit over right in there. I actually broke out some fabric. A little bit. Just a little bit. For this. Now you want to make sure, obviously, that they're even. And it's going to make like a spine. Well, not like a spine. It is a spine. Right here. So now we should be able to open this extra page. This will be glued, or it is glued. We're going to glue the bottom one right now. It's just 2 flaps, which we actually could leave it that way. But I think I want to make the big pocket. And then we just have to paper that first before we can glue this. Okay, now we have to do some other gluing to make this a pocket. A page. We have to glue it. We have to glue this to this, and that will give us our top pocket as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it down, and we're going to run a bead of glue here and a bead of glue here. Are these the shorter? Yes, those are it's the shorter. You want to do the glue on the shorter part. So we're going to do a bead of glue along here. And another one over here. And that will give us our top pocket, because this is a fold. And it will glue this shut so that we have our page that opens this way. And then we have this that we can either put paper or something on. I'm not going to be able to put material on it because it won't close if we do. But, so now we've got our journal. No, we don't. we have to make the pocket over here. Now, I'm tempted to make this a side pocket. Because it would be huge, and think of the big card. This way, it's going to be narrower. I just don't really want a tab sticking out the side. Well, I'm just going to have to do it. So we're going to do the same thing we did on the other one, only we're going to glue across the top and across the side this way. And this is the shorter one. So we glue along the top, which is going to be the bottom when we open it up, and then up along here. And we're going to glue it just from where this little notch is. This little notch. My nose is running already. All right. Where did I say? Across the top. Oh, so we are going to glue from up here. Trying to keep my sleeve out of there. It's kind of an oversized sleeve. I think I'm going to fold it up one more time. I've got wrinkles from wearing my wrist brace. Well, that and I'm 1,000 years old. All right, so now we should have a big side pocket, and it's okay because we inked it all the way around. So it's going to be inked on the inside. It would have been either way. But, so now we have this. This was a burlap looking stencil, believe it or not. And I also created extra texture by varying the darkness. You know, there's a variation. There's lighter there, extra dark here. So that will help give the illusion. And fortunately, these did not line up. I did not want them to line up, and I didn't ink them to line up because I inked them opened up. Okay, so now we've got everything going on. Okay, now we're going to play with the cover. Almost tempted to do it last, but I don't have anything else out to do. So this is what I've got. I've got this paper that looks like textures. I've got this sari silk. This is the raw edge, so I'm going to have to do it this way. And I'm thinking of putting it across here and then gluing the, and not gluing the top down. Letting it kind of hang out, right? And then glue the bottom of it down, and then glue the paper as close to this edge as I can while covering the edge so that we still get to see the flowers, okay? Then we'll cut this off down here. Yes, because it's too short the other way. Then I have this creepy cloth from Dollar Tree that a friend of mine sent me because we don't get it here at my Dollar Tree, and she sent me so much. So much. And so there's that. And I was thinking of putting some of that like up this way. And then this is another texture, and it's paper. So we can ink it and make it a different color. I was thinking well, you know, then we wouldn't want to use the black. We would want to use the cream and make the paper black. I've got it in cream as well, a little bit of it. Except it stretches out into so much. I'm going to wipe my nose on camera. I'm not going to blow my nose. Okay. I've got all this sinus stuff going on. Okay. I think I rescued it for now. Got those chapped lips from breathing through my mouth. Okay, enough about that. So yeah, so I'm thinking this along here, this across here, this across here underneath this inked in black. But maybe with this underneath it, and making it a pocket. I don't know how that would work. How would it work? We could put it up this way. That's how it would work. Could put this under here. I'm not very good with this. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm kind of bumfuzzled here as to what to do. Because I like that because you can see through it. And I like this because you can see through it. So, well, I don't want both textures to go the same way. This paper keeps getting caught on that creepy cloth. Now, what I would say is that we can't put any of these textures, because they're not just cloth, underneath if we're going to make a pocket of some sort, because the card we make will never go in and out. Plus, I think a card would be better on this side, even though, let's do this, because I think the most interesting side of the paper is on this side. Yeah, so let's start with cutting this paper to the right size. Then we'll cut our sari silk and glue it to the paper. Let's do that. We'll make some progress. Maybe that will help. Well, we don't know exactly the height, do we? Until we put this on. Sorry for the sniffling. It's either that or not record today, and I really need to record today because I'm behind. I know I usually am ahead. But we're a week into the month. And it's not Natalie's fault. She put out 5 kits. So she's been working very hard. Very, very hard. Alright, so let's... This is kind of coming apart right here a little bit, the silk. So I have to bring this corner up a little bit. Let me go up just a smidge more with the paper. As I really want to see the gold and I really want to see the flowers. And I calculated that I can go from flower Let's see if I move this. I can go from flower to flower, and that will be the width. Should I just glue that down? I'm just afraid that even though it's Fabri-Tac, I'm afraid with this being silk, I don't want it to show through as a hard glue. You know what I mean, when it dries. So let's do that first. So we still have a little bit left over. This would be kind of interesting on maybe a bulb pin somewhere in the journal. Okay, let's glue this down. Let's glue this puppy down. That way we can determine where we want to put the paper. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine with the Fabri-Tac. Yeah, we've got that raw edge there. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It did come through, but with the pattern you can't really see it because silk is so thin. All right, now we can determine how long to cut the paper. Let's just do the length right now. We're going to have to trim the width a little too, I think. Yeah. And I did the silk past the edge. I want to see the edge a little bit. Okay. Glued Sorry Silk on my scissors. Good job. Okay. So, where's our paper? Here it is. Let's take our paper, do the overlap. I have Sorry Silk glued to my fingernail. And we have to remember to ink the paper. Don't let me forget. I'm almost tempted to ink this now that we've got these two together. So it looks like I let it slide a little bit. All right, let's do it again. Usually when I put this down, I put acetate underneath it. Alright, let's ink this. Yeah, it ended up being almost square, huh? And remember, we're using black soot, which is kind of, for some reason, seems kind of an oily mess. Even though I know it's not, but it seems to get on your hands and never come off. This is the paper that looks like fibers, and I printed this on the backs of all the papers because you could write on it, and it's a neutral. So in case we cut a piece to be a card. I just want to make sure that's glued really well over that. I was watching this show on Tubi, a nice free streaming channel. And it was by TMZ, which I guess is one of those gossipy Hollywood channel shows thingies. And they were showing shocking celebrity videos. It was crazy. I mean, first of all, leave these people alone. They have lives. They have dramas and trials and tribulations just like anyone else. I would say maybe the violence could be left out, or left in and dealt with or something. But there's violence in a lot of relationships, unfortunately. Let's get that tucked under. It worked out better than I thought. Like I said, sorry for the snarfing. I don't know, that's an awful lot to be flapping, isn't it? Or is it? I think I'm going to leave it alone. I don't think I want to take a chance on having a glue line across here. I almost could have made this a pocket. I almost could have glued this onto the back of this paper and then glued the whole thing on as a pocket. Probably should have thought of that earlier. Okay, now let's set this to the side. Let's get our inking paper out. Let's, okay, well, let's bring this back. Let's bring it back. I'm thinking that if I want the pocket to face that way, then I definitely don't want this texture in the way. So I think we could get away with this because it's paper. I think we could get away with this texture. Let me cut the end of this straight. And this, you can get it in the wedding section, in the specialty paper section on Amazon. and it's about $6 for a great big roll that lasts quite a long time. Normally you don't cut this big of a piece off. What if we put it this way? So when we're putting a card in this way, it slides and it doesn't hit an edge of it. Let's do that. Now let's ink this in black. Let me use a brush, I think. Because it's kind of fragile, so you don't want to go at it with your dauber. I've tried. And it's going to make sort of a gray. Hopefully it'll make a variation, or not variegated, is that the word? A variety of colors. Darknesses on here to match the stenciling at the top. Not to match it, but to complement the different shades at the top. I really don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm very apprehensive of it just looking stupid. I probably should have done this last, like I said, but I kind of wanted to do it first and get it out of the way. That just looks kind of dirty. I almost liked it better white, because that just looks dirty to me. Let me see if you can see the difference on the camera. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're going to have to figure out a way to attach this. We're just going to have to run a thin bead of glue. And from here, you don't need very much to hold it on because it's paper. Another one for about here, which is the center. I guess I could have not done it all the way across as well. But I am a creature of habit. Trying. I really am trying. I think I should get an A for effort. Or an E for effort. Okay. So we've got that. I wish I had a black and white ribbon. That would be cool. But I guess I'm not supposed to matchy-matchy, you see. So let's get our pocket. Let's not make it quite so big. I'm now rethinking a pocket. I'm almost just thinking another texture, another textile on the front that we can come back to, because this is gonna no, it doesn't make too much of a thickness if we spread it out like it's supposed to be. And if we put this on as a pocket, diagonal pocket. Uh-oh. Oh, for goodness sakes. I'm so sorry. No matter how many times I pushed that button, it would not stop beeping. If you ever had that, you like tap it and tap it and tap it, and it just not want to stop. Okay. What if we put this underneath it? Okay, I could live with that, I think. Okay, cut it diagonal that way. And then I think I'm going to rethink about filming at 3 o'clock in the morning feeling like this. Yeah. And then we'll just make it into a tuck and we'll make a card, a big card. Okay, so we're going to have to do some gluing. So let's go around the outside. Let's put our creepy on there. Let's creep it on there. And then we'll glue this on as a tuck. I didn't ink it. I think there's enough creepy cloth on there that it doesn't matter. I hope so. Because I do believe it's too late. Well, actually, it may not be. At least on this front edge that you might see. I'll glue this down and then I'll come back when the glue on my fingers is dried. I kind of tweak that again. A little bit of ink on it up there. And then, oh, we've only got 5 minutes left because I kept wishy-washying around. I actually could have made this bigger. I got creepy cloth glued to me everywhere. We'll just make a large card and we'll put some of this texture on it. And maybe not make it black or gray, as the case may be. Yeah, I'll have to look at it, you know, take something like this and make a small enough card that you see the sari silk and you see this paper and texture. You know, make a card about this big, just about this big, like a tag sized, and tuck it in there. So I may do that off camera. It's not that big of a deal. And but I'm happy with the way this turned out. I wish I had had some more up in here. Something. I don't know. I don't know what else I would do. Because this looks like so many textures. It's like an optical illusion. So, and I may look at, is that not the right size or what? Yeah, see, that paper's going to be a problem. Okay, all right. Let's just use this as a card. That works for me. I'll trim it down a little bit from the bottom so that we've got this black across the top. Yeah, I'll trim some off the bottom I'll round the corners, I'll ink it, and then I'll stick it back in here. Okay? And then that will be our cover. Alright, such as it is. Me with my textureless life. Trying to work my way into it. Okay? Alright, well that's it for this video. Thank you for spending your last 57 minutes with me, and I will see you in the next video.